forgot to hit record. Okay. Hey, those of you who are going to listen later, we just went through what all was out on the instructional framework for last year. So now I'm going to pull up the document that input together, and it shows a little bit about what everyone does. So right now we have four tech centers that have chosen therapy tech as their program name. And you can see that it looks like we have 525, a 480, and two 960s. So let's look real quick at what all's covered in all of these. April, this is how we've been doing these meetings. We just kind of go out and see. Emily has put what everyone else has requested, what all the schools have requested. And so we can kind of see the commonalities and the differences between them. And it kind of helps us come up with hours or, to figure out what to do. So this one is, again, this is under therapy tech. Isn't it weird? Because I would have thought Tulsa Tech would have been under there, because I know that that's what y'all have called it in the past. Anyway, we'll look at yours in a second. I don't know where it is, and it could just be that we missed it on this. So Muskogee, and so this would be Megan Caldwell's program. It looks like she does core, midterm, A&P, and then she's got some essentials, some physical therapy aid, and therapeutic modalities for physical therapy aid. Northeast Tech, same. It's got basically the core and then a therapeutic services class for 180 hours. Northwest, it looks like they do a core, and then they do exercise physiology, fitness, and then they've got 160 hours, well, besides this intro to fitness thing, of OT aid, PT aid, and student athletic training aid. So that's completely, that's using putting anatomy and physiology in there, but doing multiple options or multiple, certifications, I guess you would say. Fairview, which should be really similar. Yeah, it's exactly the same, just they're in different, it's in a different order, I think. So anyway, let's look at student athletic training aid. And it looks like we have a Gordon Cooper Shawnee that is 525, and High Plains that is 630 hours. Therapeutic modalities. And looks like they're including in that all of the core, midterm, A&P, exercise physiology, and then we've got student athletic training and modalities and rehab. So I don't see anyone having a job out experience on this one. So that's one thing that's a little bit different. Of course,
so if they have the 630 hours, is that a 2-year program?
That's a great question. My guess is that High Plains has a 2-teacher program, and they also don't have enough places to put, like, if they did a whole class of this, they wouldn't have enough places to put them for clinicals or even to observe. So this tells me that the 600 tells me that they use this for adults who might want to go into, because anything over 600 hours you can get federal financial aid for. None of these programs are accredited by a third party, because there's no such thing out there. So my guesstimation is that this is for someone who just does the student athletic training stuff, and they don't want to do the OTA, PTA, all of the things that were in the 960. I don't know. Without them here, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Right.
So let's look at PT aid. And with that, so that's what we have your program listed as. Tulsa Tech is under PT aid, and that's just whichever sip and sock you chose. I don't think it makes any difference. You're doing sports med and therapy careers and sports med and rehab. Canadian Valley, here you are. You've got anatomy. I don't see physiology, but I see essentials of PT, CPR, sports med, mentorship, rehab essentials, and therapeutic modalities in rehab. So looks like 480. So that's you probably use that as a second year option. I don't know who teaches that. Brian, do you know?
Brittany Davis.
Okay. I just, most of yours do a long-term care, but this would be an option for a second year student, right?
And this is actually just a 1-year program that we don't have that as a requirement.
Okay. Yeah, so they can just come in and take this as a junior or a senior, but it's all high school students.
Yes, all high school students.
Okay. Moore Norman, I know that he does a lot of, his used to be fitness. He used to do a lot of fitness, and it looks like now they're doing A&P and med term, health science core, mentorship, modalities, rehab. So it looks like a lot of the courses are the same. Same thing down here in at Southwest Tech. They just put it all as physical therapy aid for 120 hours. These are for the people, Jill, like us, that would have gone, you want me to go do personal care for a nurse as a nurse aide? Nope. Thank you very much. Somehow it's different when it's our parents now, but it's still just not something that lights my fire. That's for sure. High Plains, Woodward. Oh, here we are again. Okay. And it looks like these are specific courses for physical therapy. So it looks like to me they have a physical therapy one, a student athletic training one, and then therapy tech. They've put those kind of together, I get, right? That's what I see. And then Mid-America, this is you. Are you so excited, April? We've got anatomy and physiology. You've got concepts in fitness, career readiness, a mentorship, med term, essentials of PT, essentials of athletic training. There's exercise phys. So you're really doing 3 different careers. Right? That's what this looks like. So it looks like you're doing PT aid, athletic training, and I'm going to say fitness, exercise, science of some sort, because those both fit in PTA and athletic training. So awesome. So I do not believe, well, let's see it OTA. I'm a liar. Looky. So High Plains here has a whole nother option for OTA. So and these are all the courses and stuff that I think put together many years ago. So I don't think there is a lot different. And as I scroll through this, I don't believe there's any other, oh shoot, I forgot to shut my door. I don't believe there's any other careers that fall under that. I don't think we have anyone that asks straight up for chiropractic, and that would be the only one it looks like I'm not seeing, right? So I think that we're going to be able to do all this. Oh, go ahead, Jill.
So on your current framework, there's multiple programs that have the same sock and sit.
I know.
So physical therapy aid, chiropractic assistant, therapy tech, and student athletic training aid. They all have the same sock and sip. So will
Yeah.
that now just be one program? Is that?
I don't know. I noticed that too and went, huh, that's interesting. I know that there's no such beast out there. There is a chiropractic assistant. So this could be its own thing. I know it has its own code, I guess you would say. I know there's a fitness specialist one. Pretty sure there's a physical therapy aide. Pretty sure there is not one for student athletic training. So this is actually one that wouldn't, even though it shows the same thing, the closest thing we have to it is a physical therapy aide. And occupational therapy aide, I don't think, I'll have to look it up, but I don't think we have that is an option in for a different sip and sock. But you are correct. I see a whole bunch of them on the same ones, and I didn't think they were supposed to be. So,
And I was actually questioning because I thought, why aren't we therapy tech? Like that looked like it was a good fit, and we're under PT aid, and then I realized they're the same sock and sip, so it probably didn't matter whenever we
doesn't
were
matter.
putting it in.
Exactly.
So,
And
yeah, so
yeah, and you're asking for the state program of Rehabilitation Services, so you can kind of do whatever you want with it. If next time you guys want to put it under therapy tech, that's great. I'll tell you, it looks like there's no such beast as this out there that is a completely separate tech. What we've done, let me explain. So April, a lot of these programs that are for high school students, the appearance is that a lot of schools are going to go to the 480 model anyway, of however many hours there are in a program. And so we would obviously change all of these. That would be, I can't highlight it, sorry. But all of the ones that are listed here would I don't know that they would all be the same probably number of hours. You can see that a lot of the courses are very similar for occupational therapy, physical therapy, student athletic training. It's, like foundation stuff, it's modalities, it's rehab. And so we'll probably maintain some course names like that. And I may see if there's one of them that feels like I could make it a higher hour. So if they had to have this long one, basically I still see two separate short-term two separate 480 courses. Do you guys do A&P as part of yours, Jill, or do they? No. Okay, so they don't necessarily come with that knowledge. Yay, if they do, but they don't have to come from one of the health science programs, right? They can just come in. Yeah. Okay. So if it were up to me today, I'm going to stop sharing and I want to hear your comments, please. If it were up to me today, I would take this, share, share. Okay. I would take this document and we would probably come up with, let me go over here to therapy because there was a lot more on that one. And we would probably come up with some course names that are about the same and that would add up to 480 somewhere around here. So that's my initial inkling. It looks like we're kind of all over the place anyway. There is anatomy. I do want to ask April, do your students come in with anatomy? I saw that you teach it, but do your students have anatomy and physiology, or can they come to your program without having been to long-term care?
Yes, they can come to my program without having that.
Okay. So by that, in Tulsa Tech, where you can adjust your courses however you want. So I'm just going to say that those people who need anatomy and physiology, it will probably show up in the framework. And we all know that if you're teaching rehabilitation of a shoulder, you've got to cover the anatomy. It may not be the straight up anatomy and physiology, but we know that you have to explain body systems when you're talking about heat illnesses and et cetera, you know, whatever the thing is. If you're talking about someone going into diabetic shock, you know, you have to explain the body systems a little bit. So I'm going to just go with the flow that MedTerm, A&P are something that either would be a prerequisite or that we would want in there. But like I said, you can call your classes those two things, Tulsa Tech, whatever you want to name them, and however many hours you want to put them in at. Are we okay with the 480? Let me go back here to student athletic training aid. Okay, there's only 2 that do that. And we just did therapy tech. Let's go to PT aid. There was more of that than anything else. What are your thoughts? You're even lower number of hours. So that's good. It's not going to be a problem for you, April.
Laura, what was the which of the which framework did you say that that you're thinking of using for 480?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
I had a phone
no,
call, so I didn't know if I missed that.
No, I'm just thinking
Okay.
that therapy tech should maybe be a no anatomy and physiology and a compilation of multiple or that might be physical therapy, I don't know, but a compilation and of multiple careers in there. So we might have, instead of all these separate little courses, we might have physical therapy aid, occupational therapy aid, you know what I'm saying, as a separate course, and then whatever they put under that, we've have them specified out that we can show, demonstrate, and explain this is what we would recommend. But as far as, and that's based on the skills standards that we have for, and the study guide we have for student athletic training aid. That's the only one that we have. It doesn't have a sip or sock, but it does have a test. And there are some physical therapy aid assessments that are starting to be out there. None of them are right to works. So they can, you know, take it, don't take it. It's not going to affect whether or not someone, these are true experimentation, because you might be able to go to work as a physical therapy aide, but you're not going to be able to, none of those are what I would consider terminal careers. I would hope that every one of these students would go on or know they don't like physical therapy or don't like occupational therapy. So I don't know. PT aid has a sip and sock, so that makes it kind of the easiest one to do at 480. And then a therapy technician, like something closer to maybe, you know, a little over 600 hours or something, and it would just add in A&P and midterm. I don't know. What do you guys think?
That we could make that work.
Okay.
For the 480, sorry, from 525 to 480 hours is a high school program.
Sure.
So 1 year.
So it won't really affect what you're doing. And Brian, you guys you're up here. You're already at 480. Right here, you're the peach. And it looks like you're doing kind of a combination of sports med and physical therapy.
Yep.
So And he does have a functional anatomy in there, so it's not to get a science credit. I kind of like that. It's not to get a science credit necessarily.
That is true. It's not for the science credit. It's just to go over those things that, you know, you need to know in order to be able to do the things that you need to do.
Right.
But
Therapeutic.
you're not doing the
things.
entire science credit.
Yeah. So I know we'll do a 480. I'll probably just take the courses that all of you have and kind of look through. The plan really is just to look at each one of these and come up with, first of all, I need to double check on those SIP and SOP codes. And because I really think that they're in there, I think that it's wrong in there because I know that they shouldn't have the same number. So that's a Laura issue. I don't know how it is in the actual framework. I just know that that's the document we went off of last year when we were putting things and creating templates in the framework. So my plan is to create a template that will be 480. And what do you guys think about something? I know it doesn't really represent anyone on this call, but do you think we should mess with something that's 600? Or, I mean, we've got Northwest and High Plains are the ones we have that have the over 600 hours. And they're not here, but they've added core. So I really,
Do they have adults in any of those?
all
I mean,
of them.
most of ours are all high school.
I know. Yeah, that's
Well,
the
I
whole
can
thing
see
here.
where-
These are all high school adult programs right here.
I do have some
I mean,
adults. My adults are only in the afternoon though.
Okay. And so they only can take a
But I can see where
480
they-
class.
yeah.
They don't get financial aid.
No.
Okay. And they know that coming in. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to, we'll put something together. We'll send it out to everyone. We'll get your feedback. And since they weren't here, we may have Northwest Tech or High Plains may want to join in the conversation at that time and say, what are we supposed to do with our adults? If I can figure out a way to put it under a different SIP and SOC. So anywho, that's my plan right now. Anything you guys can think of? Anything you can learn me up on? No.
Hey, Laura, this is not related to this, but
Sure.
after this call, can you just stay on for about 2 or 3 minutes?
Of course.
I have a follow-up question from our meeting this morning that hit us after we'd all already hung up.
Okay, awesome. No
Thank you.
problem. And we're still down to our last couple. Actually, tomorrow morning I do Rad Tech, but Rad Tech all are accredited programs. And so they will all go under their accreditation. It's not going to be a real discussion on, you have to do something. We'll come up with something that's the middle of the road and use that probably for our framework. But I don't think that it's going to be, everyone will be able to count their own accreditation hours. With EMT on Friday, our emergency services, all 3 of those are the paramedic, advanced and basic are all, and first responder are all required numbers of hours. So there's really not, as far as the EMT stuff goes, I can't mess with their coursework. That's how much it is, that's what they require. Paramedic has to be approved by paramedic courses have to be approved by a third party. Anyway, so I don't think it'll make a difference on the paramedic hours. So that's kind of where we're at with everything. Yay! We're like getting there, people. We're getting there. So I don't have anything else on this one unless anyone else does.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
For those of you that is doing the PTA tech or aid, is there a test for that you're giving your kids at the end for a certification?
I'm looking up the framework to see what tests we have listed out there. We have, I don't know. Yeah. So everything has something. So PT aid, I don't know. I'd have to go to the certification list. Please hold and tell you what 8771 is.
So 8771, that particular test is the one that we have linked to our program at CB Tech.
Okay. I don't know why. It must be something that we've recently added because the last number I have, wait, unless it's, nope. Because the last number I have on my giant sheet is 8770. So it must be something we've added in the last year.
We have a brand new program, so nobody's even close to taking that test as of this moment in time.
Yeah. I think that I know. Do I know? I think for some reason, I think precision exams may have something. They're not called precision exams anymore. They're called U-Science. And for some reason, I think they may have added something. I can go out and look really quick. Do you know who that test is with, Brian? Does it say on
I
your
can find out real quick.
Well, let's see. Let's have a race.
The one that I was aware of with youth science was exercise science, I think is what it was.
Yeah, I think they call it and exercise science, and I'm gonna say like physical therapy or something. You know what I mean? They've got higher ed employers, work-based experience, industry certifications. That's what we want. Okay, let's explore the clusters. Let's find health. Beep. There. See what they have. Exams and standards. I don't know if y'all can still see my screen, but these are, they do have an EMT, exercise science and sports medicine. And I don't know if that's the one that we have. Oh, look.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say there's physical therapy introduction.
So they do have one.
The 8771 is American Medical Certification Association.
AMCA. Okay.
Is that the one that's $109 for each student?
I don't have
In
no
a second, I'll pull up another spreadsheet and I'll find out.
Because they had contacted me and they give you all the resources to teach the class, but it is like a subscription, right? So every time you have kids enrolled, it's $109 per student every year. And then they get to take the test.
Yeah, they are, I don't know how to, a lot of things have changed in credentialing in the last few years. And a lot of people have put out a lot of exams and to sell their curriculum, to do the things like that. I will always list them. They may not be the very best. You know what I'm saying? Are they better than nothing? Yeah, maybe. But I do know the quality of U-Science, and I would say that and this is why, because U-Science, you should be able, I don't know if I can do that or not. I should be able to go out and click on the name of the test, and it should take me to the standards list, right? That tells me step by step. And this is one of the companies that I know I can get to that. I don't know why I can't from this website, but apparently because, oh, here, this is why, because they want my information. Okay, Robbie. My friend Robbie works for them. So I see how it is. It's to fill in their customer service database. So, but I think I will ask for some information here, see if we can get. Yes, I'm so sorry. I just forgot before we started. Okay. Can you imagine I'm too loud? What? That's crazy, I tell you. Crazy. I don't know what I even am. I'm going to pretend he knows me. I'm going to pretend I could say I'm a superintendent. That would be fun.
So we have that 8771 down on our internal document at 119.
Okay, so yeah, somewhere around there. That'll just be easiest, whatever. I'm already in your dumb database, so just
Now, Brian, for yours with 119, does the school pay for that or the students pay for that?
she's trying to use you against her own school.
Helps unmute. Helps unmute.
I would never do that. I just, knowledge is power, right?
That's
So-
exactly right, my sister.
So our district pays for up to $350 for certifications in a full-time program if they're an in-district student.
Yeah.
And so the 119 that we show here is well within that range. So
Gotcha.
we will pay for a first attempt. If they
And
have
I
a
would
second
say,
attempt, they
April,
have to pay for it.
that's kind of, I wouldn't say standard, but I'd say standard. I mean, I don't know about the $350 amount, but a lot of schools will pay for one exam.
And I don't know how much our student athletic training aid is,
Free.
but that's what we offer. Okay, well, that's what we offer here, and
Yeah.
bless the kids, they can't do jack diddly with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Well, and does AMCA require that they're 18 or be a high school graduate to take the exam?
That I'm not sure. I don't know that info.
Yeah, I don't know either. This is the exam blueprint for the intro to physical therapy. So you can see it's got just the stuff we would expect, right?
Mhm.
A lot of it has to do with anatomy and physiology kinds of the pathology, I guess, conditions, musculoskeletal conditions in industries, but it also throws in pediatric and geriatric patients. So there is a little bit of different. So is anyone from either of your schools going to the consortium conference that's coming up in October? The reason I ask is because they're going to have they're going to have a testing thing where you can go and sit. We have it at HOSA also, that every year that teachers can come and take any U Science exam you want to. Teachers, students, anyone. And you can take as many as you want. So you can actually tell what's on, you'll know if it's appropriate for your students. But if they have a breakdown like that, that should give you pretty good information about what things need to be covered. Topic areas anyway. So yes, AMCA. So that probably is on there. And I need to look and see if that physical therapy intro is on our list or not. So sometimes they sneak out there and they create new tests and we don't know about it until someone says, hey, why is this not on the list? Okay, we'll put it there. Christy, did you have any questions? I'm sorry, I'm not sure what school you're from, but I see your name.
I'm from Southwest Tech. No, no, we don't have any questions. We're at 480, so I think we'll do what we need to do. So
Yeah, you'll just do what you've been doing. Actually.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Thank you.
awesome. No problem. Anyone else have anything? Okie doke. Thanks for your time, everyone. Another one bites the dust. Bada bump, bump, bump. another one, but oh, don't act like Tulsa Tech, you don't have a calendar that you're doing this every day.
Hey, we're just happy when we realize it's Friday. We look up
I
and like,
know,
oh,
right?
it's Friday. We made it. We made it
I
another
can't
week.
wait myself. I can't.
Oh. Okay, so our question is
With
the
dental,
dental, meeting this morning. Jill and I were a little late logging in, and so I was confused. So
back to dental.
do I understand this correctly that I know you haven't made any decisions yet, but you're thinking that there will be a 480-hour template,
Yep.
and that those of us who are CODA accredited
Mhm.
will have to provide justification
Which
to
will,
basically our accreditation letter or
Yep.
whatever. Okay.
Yep.
But there will not be another template, right? Is that what you're thinking?
that is what I was thinking. And a big part of it is because I do not believe there are SIP and SOC codes out
There's just
there.
not another one. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
If that,
Okay.
now I'll go out and I'll do some more digging around, because obviously, and that's what I talked about a little bit, that if I need to, you know, because they're going to want this for their adults. You guys don't have, yeah, I'm not sharing there, but here, let me.
Yeah. Well, I know we've gone out and looked at SOCs and SIPs as well.
Is there something?
We haven't found. Denise, did you find something on dental? I don't think we found anything else. Well, SIP codes.
Yeah,
correct?
there is an additional SIP code, but it's one of those other categories that you
Yes.
weren't real fond of yesterday. so,
Yeah, like medical assisting,
yeah.
which we knew that dental was going to be one of our tough ones,
Yeah.
because we know that everyone is they either have a 1 year or their 2-year program for adults is, you know, won't work for
Right.
40 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and our adult program, they were thinking of looking
Dropping the
into the possibility of dropping that CODA.
Yeah.
Since now they can teach the expanded functions without it.
Yeah.
But we just need to know how to advise
Yeah.
the campus director and my boss, maybe we need to keep the CODA because I think to take ours from 1040, where we do teach all those expanded functions, down to 480, I think is unrealistic, especially since it's an all adult program.
Yep.
And if
I
that
would
means,
love for it to stay, I would love for it to maintain accreditation. And now that there are no other people online, the question was asked this morning, what's happening to these programs?
Yeah.
And you all may hear better than I do. For some reason, they are finding reasons not to rehire instructors if they leave, or if there's an instructor that they're not. I don't know. There's a couple schools out there that are they're targeting some health programs, and we've lost 6 health programs in the last 2 years, which just makes me crazy in the middle of a health crisis, and you're in a metropolitan area. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's well, I know what it is, and you guys, since your superintendent isn't one of those, I can say it, that I do believe that here, let's do this recording.